Let's
want
jump
to
straight
delve.
into the news. Yeah.
I have the Mirror newspaper with me, and they say they are Ghana's most popular weekend paper. Interesting. So on the front page is a huge one celebrating Reverend Ama Afoble at 80. Comes with a personality profiling, really, of Reverend Ama Afoble. Stories can be found on page 6 and 27 of the Mirror newspaper. Also on the front page, unstable prices for seasonal farm produce in Accra market, and also court orders probe at Ankafo prison after sentencing 3 ex-convicts for fake travel agency behind bars. Moving on to the Daily Guide newspaper, front page story, rousing welcome for Napo in Nzema. Also on the front page, police destroy bags of narcotics. Best anchor for CD is gold. That is coming in from the Vice President, Dr. Muhammadu Baumia. And also on the front page, Baumia installed digital chief. Oh, God. Goodness. And finally, on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper, a tomb for advocates stronger private sector collaboration. Back page story, some sports stories. Issa Hayatou dies at 77. Former CAF president, well-known African football administrator. And Ronaldo salutes retiring Pepe, former Real Madrid teammate, Portugal national team teammate. And finally, the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. Persons with disabilities demand passage of amended Disability Act. And that's the big front page story on the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. And country unveils ambitious energy transition plan, aims to secure 550 million investment to spark growth. Any headlines for us?
Yeah, so I have the Spectator. You've already done the Daily Graphic Weekend. So I have the Spectator, your weekend companion. Front page, superstition at Kufuridia Market. Traders reject smaller denomination. Can't wait to delve into that. Sikaman Palava, that's on page 8. Alice McKenzie launches foundation. Man dies after drinking chicken soup. And Sherma clearing disability barriers to win Ghana's first Taekwondo gold from Paralympic Games. And on the back page, some sports. You see Julian Alfred celebrating. Rose Amwenima Yepwa, our high jumper, also celebrating. It says, let's end the joke with sports. And Freezy McBones to face Britain's claim and campaign for peaceful elections.
Let me take viewers to page 3 of the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. So be homecoming. Do you know So be?
No, what does that mean?
Actually, So be homecoming. I have no idea either. But let me just bring viewers.
The way you're excited about it, I'm really Jewish.
Because So be actually.
So it's the name for you. The name is attractive.
The name for me. I suspect it's something interesting. So I think the story will give us some details. It says, as part of activities heralding the annual Gan Homowo Festival, the people of Gamashi in Accra have a homecoming event dubbed the Subi Homecoming. Actually, this is a joyous occasion that welcomes Gan people from rural areas who return to Accra to join their families and loved ones for the festivities. So I think it's like some homecoming kind of thing, right? So people who've traveled far and wide out of Accra come back to join in the Homowo celebration. So be actually.
Interesting.
It goes on to say the event symbolizes the unity and connection among the Gan people from the rural communities and the city dwellers as they come together to celebrate their heritage and traditions. It's time for reunion and merrymaking, setting the tone for the Homowo Festival, which commemorates the harvest season and the liberation of the Ga people from famine. So be in the Ga language literally translates to Thursday people. So Thursday, be people. Though it may also mean people born on Thursday, the term usually refers to rural folks who arrive on Thursday to join the celebrations, which climax on Saturday. The rural areas in Accra, particularly in the western part of the Greater Accra region, include Afuaman, Kwashikuma, Okushibiade, Kojo Ashon, and Doblo. History has it that Gan people settled at Ayawaso, which used to be part of the capital Accra. And the story goes on and on and on about them. upcoming Sobi homecoming, actually. So, yeah, I mean, Home Awards this weekend, and I understand that parts of the city is already buzzing. Maybe we should go around town and see for ourselves the colorful display of rich, rich girl culture.
We should. We're going to speak about that a little bit about that today when we get to what's
I
happening
really
around
can't wait.
town.
I really can't wait because the climax, or let me say, as part of the celebration is the ChannelOne Arts Festival, and it's always a really
It's a delight.
amazing scene.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Gets
arts,
to see
the
so many different
people,
arts.
the culture, the vibes, right?
It's
I
the vibes
just
for me.
can't wait. So be homecoming. We're also coming. Yeah.
All right,
Also
let's
coming
go
for
to the
Sobi.
Spectator now. Page 3 has superstition at Koforidua Market. Traders reject smaller denomination. And I'm thinking, why are they rejecting? So it says that it is the belief of these group of traders that starting the day with such small transactions would affect sales and not make any profits. So this superstition shared by traders in other markets throughout the region has become a habitual practice that influenced their customer interactions and financial management, particularly in the early hours of trading. Imagine the superstition of thinking, if someone buys something for 5 cedis, you won't sell, or 20 pesos, you won't sell because you have a superstition that if you start your day with
it will be some way.
Come on.
Yeah, but actually,
come
people
on.
have held on to superstition for long, so you can't really.
So they
fault them.
actually sometimes put pepper and garlic in a bowl to receive money. So I think they say it attracts more money to them. That's interesting. It's interesting.
It's funny how we can replace. Never mind.
I was about to say, hold your tongue.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no science to prove it, right?
No, there
so
isn't.
why are we still holding on to it?
Superstition. Maybe it works for them.
For all you might know, that customer whose 5 CD are refusing is the one who is becoming a long-term customer who's going to bring in all the profits really in subsequent purchases. So why would you?
It's worked for them, so they're still superstitious. On page 2, there's the nutrition segment. They're teaching us how to make moi moi. Have you ever tried it?
No.
Yes.
No, thank you.
You never know. You never know until you try it. Do not reject anything until you try it.
I'm open for different cuisines and how it tastes and all of
Yeah.
that. But
So
they are just somewhere you just have to draw the line for your own personal.
I think it's a Nigerian meal. I've heard them mentioning it a lot. So they have the ingredients there for you, how you prepare it. It's made. It has some 1 kilogram of mackerel, eggs, vegetable oil, seasoning, 3 seasoning cubes, salt to taste, 1 large onion, crayfish, and some beans. So it's healthy. It has protein, like what we've been learning for the past couple of weeks. What other stories do you have?
I mean, to the entertainment page of the Daily Graphic, an interesting feature by Gifty Owusu Amwa. She calls this one the dilemma of the celebrity politician. The dilemma of a celebrity politician. It comes with a photograph of Kofi Otredakun, well known in the space, media guy, also fashion icon. And of course, so he's the NDC guy, right? Then you have Prince David Osei, actor in the space, also then the MPP guy. Quite recently on the Point of View show, Bernard had a show where he had KOD on, Kofi Otredakun, and it was quite an interesting perspective. It's thinking around the issues and all of that. It was actually a good show. So Gifty says, the dilemma of a celebrity politician. The long-held perception that celebrities are expected to be unified have for a long time pushed many away from getting involved in politics. So the few who have been bold to defy this unofficial status quo have had to face the wrath of their fans who share different political opinions. Notable among such victims has been actor, comedian Clement Bonny, popularly known as Mr. Beautiful, who disclosed that he was shunned by movie producers because he declared his support for then-President John Mahama in the 2012 general election. At the time, Mr. Beautiful was one of the darling boys of Kumewood movie producers. However, he was dropped like a lump of hot coal following his endorsement and support for the then-ruling National Democratic Congress. The movie producers had an explanation that it was their patrons who boycotted the movies featuring Mr. Beautiful because of his political leaning. Well, this has been the fate of many more celebrities who have taken the bold step to join politics and be part of the decision-making body that affects their well-being and progress. But the fans, do they understand this? That's the question she's asking. She goes on to say, with the heat building up for this year's general election in December, actor Prince David Osei, who is campaigning for the ruling New Patriotic Party, and its presidential candidate, Dr. Baumia, is equally facing the wrath of some fans for endorsing a political party they do not support. Over the years, while professionals from various sectors have become increasingly involved in politics, Ghanaian celebrities have remained noticeably silent due to the opinion of their unique position as unifying figures, bringing people together across political lines. So, yeah, the debate will go on and on and on about the appropriateness or otherwise of celebrities, in quotes, joining political campaigns. And for me, I mean, we've had Don Dumelo, for example, transcend the celebrity phase, the entertainment scene, go full-time politics, right? And I think there's a place for orange economy
sometimes
people,
it doesn't work well for them, but other times too.
Yeah, so you need to calculate it well. And you see, at the bottom line is that you need to have principles, right? So if you are pushed as to why you decide to go on a particular political tangent, you should be able to defend it based on not mere sayings or based not on calculations, but on convictions, right? And not based on some post somewhere, but on principles. So I feel like having these people, celebrities, go into politics is not necessarily wrong, but we should know the reasons why they are going, and it should be based on strong values and principles. And I think,
should be able to defend it
of trying to see a better country, and I think it will be absolutely fine. So, great write-up by Gift Owusu Amwa on the Daily Graphic Weekend Special Entertainment page. It will be interesting whether or not we see a lot. Asamoah, is he a celebrity or is he just a sportsman?
He's a celebrity.
He's a celebrity, right? I think he cuts across
artist,
boots, right? So he does music,
fucker,
he dances and all of that.
Yeah,
he's also come out and he's doing just okay. So, like I said, I don't think there's a problem, but we need to know their priorities. We need to know their principles on what their principles, their conviction.
Not we are entering because we want to make money.
Not because of any other reason that often sounds very...
All right, like page 14 of The Spectator. DKY Night of Comedy and Music set to thrill thousands. DKY is a renowned sports presenter, Dan Kwekuyebwa, and he's having a music show, comedy and music show, on August 23, 2024. He says, experience the other side of the astute sports journalist as he presents DKY Night of Comedy and Music. The venue will be the Accra International Conference Center. And the center of attraction will be the top brass of Ghana's comedy and music industry for an unforgettable experience. Patrons on the night will have to brace up for a laughing journey with Obiang Ponsa, Clemento Suarez, one of your favorites, Foster Romanes, and the return of the embattled Funny Face. That would be interesting. And there would also be some quality moments with undiluted Ghanaian music from legendary Amachi Dede, Evergreen Ochiame Kwame, Dynamic Fameye, and the nation's worshipper, Brother Sami. Host of Peace FM's Kokroko Morning Show, Kwame Sefakai, will be the special guest with ace comedian and actor Akrobeto as the master of ceremony. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see Funny Face back on stage after all that he's been through and all that. And Kwame Sefakai will be there, Akrobeto as master of ceremonies. Who knows tomorrow? That will be interesting as well.
Dan Kwekuyebwa is an interesting character.
I've never met him.
He's an interesting character.
Really?
You know, funny now, back in the day when we used to go to school, for the longest time, when we it happened that when I get to school, it's just about the time where the security man at school was listening to sports. On Peace FM. And he always has this funny joke he's giving. And like, sometimes I don't really get what he's saying, but the way he's laughing about it and going about it was so effective. Well. Yeah, so I'm like, nah, this guy. And I think he's done quite well for himself all through the years. I saw him do a lot of work recently during the All Africa Games, where he was part of the media team. And yeah, I think he's really proven himself within the space. So we wish him well. We'll see if we'll be there to support. I think I would like to be there and just have, like, the country is too hot already.
Yeah, so we should go and chill small and relax small.
Yeah, the country is too hot. So when you get opportunities like these, like, yeah, just go and cool off.
Cool off.
And I'm sure you have a good laugh.
Yeah. There's a story here which says qualities to look out for in your marriage counselor. So when you're choosing a marriage counselor, what are you looking out for? So a bit of it says, as you begin your journey of marriage, remember that seeking help from a professional marriage therapist or counselor can be a valuable asset to your relationship. I admit there are so many characteristics you would have to consider when choosing your marriage therapist or counselor. Therefore, I'll start. So the person lists out a couple of them: professional qualifications, rapport building, communication, etc., etc., impartial and non-judgmental attitude. But don't most churches just give you a counselor? Do you have a say in who you can and cannot choose as your marriage counselor? Because I know I'm a Catholic. And most of my friends who have gone down that lane say it. So you go to the pastor, you tell them, the priest, the father, you tell him you want to get married, and then they'll just give you a marriage counselor. I don't think you have a say in who.
Actually,
because I know that they have like 2 or 3 marriage counselors in a church.
It depends on the couple, really. And for most churches, there's a whole marriage committee.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a friend who's Muslim and his wife who's Christian. So it offers a very peculiar challenge, right? So what worked for them was they went to the University of Ghana, I think, and had one of these counselors at the university's counseling centers. Took them through an intensive, I think, 6-month counseling, and it worked for them.
And
so
it worked for them.
At the end of the day, it's about you, right, and what works for you. So you look. But anyway, in the middle spread of the Mirror newspaper, for those of us who do perfect, Shiogumu Potogu.
Kontumri,
the one that they mash, grind.
That's my favorite, by the way.
Those of us who know how to do it, we are worried.
Who's the those, no?
Don't do this. I always tell
Juju, please, we don't want any Ransto this morning.
I always tell you, don't do this.
We don't want Ransto this morning. Tell us what the story is saying.
For those of us who do it and do it well, we are not too happy.
Why? What's happening?
Because unstable prices for seasonal farm produce in Accra markets, and that's the big story on the Mirror spread. It comes with interesting photographs. But interestingly, tomato prices have come down.
Yes.
I saw reports by the ChannelOne business diagnostic.
Yes. I'm excited about that. But for how long? Because it's also seasonal.
Before I even read excerpts of the story, right, they say a basket of cassava is 50 cedis.
Wow.
A bunch of ripe plantain is between 60 cedis and 150 cedis.
Wow.
A bottle of palm oil, Zomi. Ha, Charlie, Zomi. Oh, Charlie, if you have the Zomi on the go there. Ha, Charlie. Forget everyone. Yeah, Zomi is 30 cedis. Then 3 of these tubers of yam. I wish you can see, right? 3 of this.
Just 3. So this is
is like 90 cedis.
Wow.
90 cedis.
Wow.
And
I think last week was when we were saying that prices of yam have risen as well.
Yeah, because people were buying for like 60 cedis and 70 cedis and stuff like that.
90 cedis.
90 cedis for
small
3
tubers, 3
but,
small tubers.
3 for 90 cedis makes sense here because people were buying like 1 for like 60 and stuff.
But it's still expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure I have to find this market.
Yeah, which market is this?
I'll read excerpts of the story soon. And please tomatoes in a basket dropped from 650 cedis to 300 cedis. Wow, we need proof. Anyway, Hadiza Nuhu Bela Kwansa says that she is the author of the story. Says in Ghana, some farm produce are seasonal and expected to be affordable when in season. Typically, around August, tomatoes, yam, pepper, okra, plantain, watermelons, and cassava should be in abundance. However, this pattern seems to be changing. To assess the current prices of some seasonal foodstuff, the Mirror visited a number of markets in Accra on Tuesday and Wednesday. And the markets included Madina, Kaneshi, Odona, Agbobloshi, CMB, and Makola. Although tomatoes, yam, okra, garden eggs, contomere, and watermelons were abundant, their prices were not stable and depended on the market. Tomatoes are in season, causing prices to drop from 650 per basket to 300 cedis. Just 2 weeks ago, 3 small tomatoes were sold for 20 cedis, causing unease among domestic and commercial users. So clearly indicating that there's been a drop in foodstuff prices. So I think it's good news.
Not
but
bad.
some of us, we want the drop further down. So that we can buy the inyadwa and the
Kutumri, you can do your kutugum shegum, the one that someone
small
does
money,
for you and not you doing it yourself.
Who does for who? The one who does for who?
Charlie,
you add more money, then you cut the onions in a particular way, then maybe another day I'll go to
You're a very good observer. So you observe
what?
where you
I'm
go to the
telling you what I
kitchen.
do. I'm telling you, my it comes so naturally, right? Tasty fingers. Back in the day, they used to call me Tasty Fingers. Oh, yeah.
Joe free. Okay, there's another one here. A man dies after drinking chicken soup. You wonder why someone would die after drinking chicken soup. Well, the Spectator says that the quest of a 67-year-old man to seek the help of a fetish priest to uncover a family pot of gold hidden in a bush has resulted in his death. Openyi Augustine Amponsa was said to have been offered chicken soup at the shrine, but gave up the ghost after consuming it. The incident, which took place at Amuari, a community in Offensa South municipality of the Ashanti region, has resulted in the arrest of the fetish priest and priestess. So a police source that confirmed the incident to the Spectator, so he gave the names as Nana Kwesia Mankwa and Ekuya Santwa, adding that they were arrested on July 14 at the shrine. A pot of gold is missing, and chicken soup. I wonder how long the chicken soup had been there, or if the chicken was wholesome. The story is not adding up.
Yeah, the story is some way.
They're like the Gen Zs will say, make it make sense.
Yeah, the story is some way, Charlie. But who are we to say? I mean, commiserations with the family.
Yeah,
it's a very tragic way to lose a loved one. But finally, Sports Today, back page of the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. Can Hearts tame Roaring Lions in Homowo Charity Showdown? Wow, so comes along with a photograph of Heart of Lions head coach Bashir Hereford and Hearts of Folks coach Abubakar Ouattara. So as the dust settles on the dramatic finish to the 2023-2024 Ghana Premier League season, where both Accra Hearts of Folk and Kpando Hearts of Lions narrowly escaped relegation on the final day, attention swiftly turns to their preparations for their upcoming campaign. These two clubs will square off tomorrow at the Accra Sports Stadium at the inaugural Besimanche Homowo Peace Charity Match, a clash that will not only test their mettle but also provide a glimpse into their preparations for the upcoming season. This year's fixture, tied to the annual Ghana Homowo Festival, marks a departure from tradition. In previous years, Hearts would typically face their city rivals, Great Olympics, in the annual Gamanche Homowo Cup. However, with Olympics suffering relegation last season, organizers have opted to bring in Lions for a fresh and fierce contest. The Gbese Mancheni Ayibonte II has added extra prestige to the match by donating a trophy intended not to just celebrate the festival, but also promote peace and unity in the Greater Accra region ahead of the upcoming general election. It goes on to talk about the high stakes and the importance for this clash. So yeah, Homowo is in full mode, full-fledged mode. We wish the Ghana people well as they celebrate their festival. I like the way they tie it to specific teams, right? So even with the Sobi homecoming I was talking about, they make the point about the relevance of
coming back
home, joining the celebration, giving back to society, merrymaking. And even with this sporting events, a football game between Accra Hearts of Folk and Kpando Hearts of Lions, the story showed that it's tied to preaching peace ahead of the election, unity, and stuff like that. I think for a country to develop, we need especially traditional authority coming on board, playing key role, acting as that safeguard really of our democracy, preaching tolerance, preaching peace, preaching values we hold on to dearly. So I think it's great, and we'll be following and we'll be supporting keenly. I want to go to the ChannelOne Arts Festival. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'd really want to go to ChannelOne as well. I've been to ChannelOne only once. Oh, can you imagine?
Poor you.
Oh, wow.
You missed out. You missed out on a lot. I mean, at the last time, I think City, we had like this whole, is it Call Me the City or something? We had like a really huge ChannelOne. Like, it was unbelievably fun.
Well,
it was
we'll
the
see about
ground music blasting in the background, the different kinds of Ghana food, the different kinds of Ghana kinky. I didn't even know even
There
with
were
Ghana kinky.
varieties.
Unbelievable.
Can't
Octopus
wait.
on the side, squid on the
You
side.
and your octopus. Every time we mention gakinki, the first protein you mention is octopus.
You should see my, because I think I developed that taste at the Come in the City, Charlotte City event. I'm not even joking, because like, I didn't know it was even a thing, eating kinky with octopus and squid.
Well, now
like,
you know, and now it's
it's
become something that you can't
taste
stop.
buds were developed seriously over there, and for me, it's a great festival. I hope everybody can take advantage of it. Whether or not you're a Ghana, it's an opportunity to learn from learn the culture of other people, and it's always a great experience. Always a great experience.
Well, that's about it. That's what's trending in the weekend dailies. You wouldn't want to go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to tell you what's happening about town.